And do you you know, repeat any kind of affirmations or read your plan out loud or do anything along those lines? I mean,
what I usually do for me with a client, they'll come in and we'll set up some action steps. And they take note of that too. They write it down, and then when we meet next week, we look at the progress. Was there progress? Did they do the action step? What were the barriers if they didn't do it? If they didn't complete something, why was that? Was it a thought process? Did life get in the way? Is it really a goal they really want to address? Is there something else we need to think about? You know, I've got someone now who's using me for coaching and seeing a psychotherapist, and the difference was, is she said, with you, it's very action-oriented.
Right.
You know, we're sitting here writing goals, we're sitting here doing things. I mean, for example, it's not uncommon to read something from, let's say, Deepak Chopra that may apply. And so you're reading, you may create an affirmation board, you may draw a map. It's really unique. And the other thing to consider is the coach is not a doctor. I mean, it's not like a doctor-patient relationship. It is, the relationship is more balanced.
it's not like you're teaching them how to drive a car.
No, no, no. It's like,
but it is like it is a systematic or step-by-step process if you just stick with it, and you might not succeed every step of the way, but as long as you keep going, then at some point it just starts working almost like magic. It's like, wow, I didn't know I did all this, but you
Yes.
built on what you were doing until you get ahead.
yeah, exactly, exactly. It's very dynamic. It's very, I guess, future-oriented. Like I said, you're constantly working, and some of these exercises are not easy. I mean, if you had to sit down and think about what are your core values, you know, if you're in a relationship, what are the things that you absolutely must have? What are the things that you can negotiate on? What are things that you don't? You know, if you saw yourself a year from now, how would you see yourself? You know, if you had 6 months to live, what would you do? Or, you know, if you're facing adversity, you know, if this was supposed to be a gift from God, how might you see this as a benefit? How would you see this experience differently?
Right, and speaking of values, you talked about freedom, creation, and faith.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. I had to write my own core values and mission statement.
Right.
Actually, the lady that I took the group coaching from is now my mentor coach.
Okay.
And that's also a borrowed thing from traditional psychotherapy. And in psychotherapy, we had what was called supervision.
Right.
And that means that as a therapist, you have a senior therapist that you go to on a regular basis to discuss cases or discuss issues, and they can help you work through that as well. So part of getting credentialing for life coaching is that you have to have a mentor coach.
You got to get hit with the stun gun too before you
I got to
get
get hit with
qualified
the stun gun too. That's
to
true.
do it to other people.
That's true. And so anyway, she made me sit down, and for my business, she made me do core values. And I started to think about them, and I thought, well, freedom, you know, everybody has free will. God gave us free will.
Right.
We live in a free country. We're very fortunate. And so we have the freedom to choose. The law of creation, I believe that, you know, we create our own destinies. We create our desire and what we want. And then with faith, I think with believing that what you want will occur, you achieve what you want.
Right, and some processes are kind of amorphous. I mean, they're just kind of vague, and you just have to reach out. You just got to keep going and hope there's something there to stand on when you land.
Yeah, that's true. I think a lot of things are a leap of faith. And, you know, that's kind of what makes the process exciting. And the good thing with a coach is that you have somebody there that you can use as a sounding board. You know, if something's not going right, you've got that person. I know when we experienced the group coaching, you know, that I did, one of the members was just having a real hard time. There were some instances where she would have dropped out, and but she had a group to come to and a coach to talk to help her work through the issues, and she found it very beneficial.
And I mean, you learn from your mistakes, so
Yeah,
failure
you do.
is good in a way. It's a
Yes.
learning thing, but how do you really work through that though? If you come up against something that just seems like it's just in
The block.
reality blocking you, not just
Right.
in your mind.
In your mind?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like, and I love Donnie Deutsch from The Big Idea. I love his show. He said, really, it's not that you failed, it's how you bounce back. Is
Right.
what it is. So if somebody feels like they're failing, and we're discussing this in coaching, then it's time to take a second look of what those barriers are. The barriers are. Is it in their mind? Is it their reaction to something that occurred? Is it a belief system? Do they need to really review the goals they've set? Is it really realistic? Is it measurable? Those are some things you would look at.
So. Now, Outlook Life Coaching is not psychotherapy, though. It's not.
No.
It's not where you're being lectured or where you're telling them everything they're doing wrong or
Right.
giving them a kind of. You're not judging them.
No, that's true.
It's not about that.
Yeah. If you look at psychotherapy, a psychotherapist and the patient relationship, it's more of a doctor-patient relationship. The psychotherapist is supposed to know more. They're supposed to be kind of a level above.
Right.
And with coaching, that's completely different. Like if you and I were doing a coaching session, I'm not your doctor and you're not my patient. You'd be a client, but if I saw you out in the parking lot or in the store, we could hug and say hi or whatever. And in psychotherapy, you would never do that. I couldn't even acknowledge that I even knew you. So the coaching relationship is a really nice relationship. You and I can go have a coaching session in Starbucks if we want to, or go to the park and sit on a bench. Provided you're not saying something you don't want anybody else to hear, we can do it anywhere. We have more freedom. But as a coach, I do borrow some things from psychiatry or from medicine or from the ministry or ethics or philosophy, and that is I do have to honor the fact that whatever you say to me is confidential. I'm not going to go talk to somebody else about it. Right. I'll honor you as a person, that you have the right to choose the way you need to go, not the way that I think you should go. It may be my solution is better than yours. It doesn't matter. The important thing is your solution is what works for you, and I'm there to help support that.
Right.
Provided it's not immoral, illegal, or unethical. At that point, I'd have to turn you in. So.
Oh, that's nice to know. So make sure just don't share anything.
No, don't share anything illegal.
Don't overshare.
Right, exactly.
Okay, now you got a booth at the upcoming Galactic Expo, which is sponsored by Cosmic Connections here. We got the information in the website, which is Catherine King's Galactic Expo. Do you know what your booth number is?
Yeah, booth 29, and Catherine has been so accommodating with all of this. She's excited about this. And also, after the show, I'm going to be working with her, offering life coaching in her shop.
Great.
Yeah, we're going to be working on that. But what I intend to do at the expo is to actually introduce people to coaching. My mission for that show is to introduce people to life coaching. You have tarot card readers, you have channeling, all kinds of stuff. But this is actually, I think you've got all that information, so what are you going to do with it?
Right.
And so coaching would give people an opportunity to do that. I'm offering 15-minute coaching sessions for $10. And we can sit down and we can just kind of, in what they call laser coaching, briefly review some of the things that you would like to achieve. We can think of a quick scenario that you would like to work on, and then we'll let you come up with an action step.
Hey, that's way more affordable than the psychotherapy.
Yes,
it
is.
Doesn't even compare. And have you had a booth at the expo previously, or is this?
Yeah, I actually.
the first time for the
yes, this is my second
life
time,
coaching?
really. Yeah, the first time I did my bead shop.
Right.
As we said, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I actually own a bead shop here in Nashville, and I've been at it for 3.5 years. And so when we did Cosmic Connections Galactic Expo, we had a booth there, and so we tried to promote the bead shop and the beads and the different things like that. And as I got into life coaching, it suddenly dawned on me, that show is so service-oriented. I thought it would be a great way to introduce people to life coaching and to give people a chance to find out what it's all about.
Yeah, and the expo is going to be at the Tennessee State Fairgrounds.
Yes.
May
16th
16th
and
17th. That's Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 7 and then 10 to 6. It's a long
Yeah, and it's
show.
just like $5 or $6 to get in, and it includes parking for both days and
Yes.
all that. So, and they've got just a myriad of modalities and all kind of.
Yes. There's all kinds
interesting
of
things.
products and services. I mean,
Yeah.
you can
And
buy
books and just
Yes.
regular normal items that you might want to check
Yes.
out. But also they have lectures and